What did we make of this match?
This is not the finish I was anticipating when after 40 minutes I left the
They were on the plane.
Drinky conference hall.
Is that what happened, Rhett? They kind of tucked in for the night?
I actually believe that. I actually think it was, let's get this win. Okay, we're up to nothing. Let's just put it to bed. What time's the flight? Do we have everything packed? I think they're they forgot they had to finish it.
So I remember hearing on the broadcast that they had not lost a game. They've had a 2-goal lead in all year.
Yeah.
And there was 7 minutes left. They're up 2-0. And you're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
This should be pretty tucked in. It's also Seattle, who, if you're not paying attention, aren't good. That's a really, really, really bad loss.
I think it might hurt. I'm worried. It's easy to say, but I'm worried that point is
Well, you look to the schedule when they get back. They got a 6-game road trip from hell. They come home for 3 against good teams, then go out for another 4 games. Like it's
Vancouver's
that's a game we're going to
way.
look back at and be like, how do we not tuck those in? They get 1, but still, now you're 3 back in Vancouver with a way harder schedule coming out of the break.
Could you because I trust your judgment and your vibe on those sorts of things because most times they're right. When you talk about it hurting, like do you think that can linger till after the break?
I just mean you do have a tough schedule coming ahead, but I think it's an 82-game schedule. The games you win, you don't worry about. You did well in the games you won, right? Like you did what you can. You got your points.
Yeah.
When you give up a point like that in a tight run, can you make it up? Maybe. But now I think that point's going to be important. I think the 2 duds in St. Louis were important. And it's easy to pinpoint any loss and say, well, it's the same as an October loss as a February. And it is. But there's just certain games that you're like, well, that's a point you needed.
They've lost 6-8 too. And that's
Yes.
a 4th loss in a row, albeit one where they get a point. So
matter.
It's more the trend. You could have been feeling good heading into the break, and you're like, especially the nature of the goals. Like the Huberdeau turnover is just egregious. That is horrible.
Like the Flames weren't great. Joey Decord was not under siege or being tested at all. Really,
both teams were on their way to vacation.
They really were. And then Soloviev has a couple of chances to get a puck out, and it just kind of goes off a leg. It's loose in front. Okay, it's 2-1. And then, I don't know. It's Huberdeau. You can't make that play.
No,
up the wall. He's safe. You're protecting a lead. That's just
read the scoreboard. That's not the time to get cute. Inside your own line, turning it over.
And then in overtime, Weegar with that cross check, which is it's more the penalty. Everyone looks Frost takes a penalty. Well, it's barely. I don't know what happened. I was really kind of stunned because it was on and I was doing stuff and I was watching. It's like 2-0. All right.
Yeah.
How did you guys lose this one? I'm with you because the ones in St. Louis, you go in thinking, okay, well you should. This one, where you were with 10 minutes left.
And to be fair, I think St. Louis is a better team, right?
Yeah, it was. You were 50 minutes into this, and you should not have lost it. If Huska's had any sleep since, I'd be shocked.
It can also. I mean, it's hard to know what's going to happen with a break. Like it could be much needed after that loss and the way they've played, right? Like maybe the gas tanks they're getting low. Maybe this is a great thing. This break. Problem is when they come out of it, it is murderer's row.
Yeah, you start with San Jose, but then it's the toughest road trip of the whole season, bar none. It's not close.
You beat San Jose, and I don't know that San Jose is a benefit at that point because you're coming off of a lot, right? Like you've been off that long. Like they might be as sharp and as into it as the Flames are.
I don't think there's any team the Flames cannot try against and win. Like it's just not overwhelming talent that they have. It has to be work ethic and structure and goaltending. But again, I think you're probably happier to see the Sharks and the Oilers there, right? Like it's not a great team, but you're gonna have to show them work. You don't, especially if you lose to Seattle, like not better than anyone here.
No. Well, and you've put yourself coming out of a break into an almost must-win situation.
Kind of feels like it when you look at the roadie. It's the top team in the NHL in the Capitals. It's 3 cup contenders, not named the Capitals, in Tampa, Florida, Carolina. It's Philly, which will be interesting because, you're a couple weeks out from that trade, but not a great team. And then it's Dallas on the way home, which isn't anywhere near these other places they've been. They go old Southeast Division up to Philly and then down to Texas before they get home.
Well, it just goes to show you don't mess with chemistry when things are going well. Conroy goes out and has to make. That's what I've been saying all year. You can't
be making these trades.
You gotta let the guy.
Nobody does it.
I'm being cheeky.
Correct. You are being cheeky. What are you doing?
Because they added guys and they have scoring punch. And what are they? 1-4. Like they beat Seattle on a Sunday since that trade. That's it.
I still look at that as just
I like the players. I don't.
It's bigger than.
I think the trade is what you do. It does nothing to do with you want to add young players. They did that. It reminds you that adding one good middle six player really, not nearly as important as that one more save you could get a night.
Yeah, to me, this is like buying winter tires in spring when they're on sale. You don't need them now. But it was a good price, and it'll be good for me down the road. Got it.
Yeah, you got them on sale. That's great.
Just kind of looking at this, like you say, was it 5 of 7 now? The wins that they've had. So they beat the Ducks. Just the last time they played a good team and won would have been, I guess, the Wild, which isn't that long ago.
We were in Jasper, and they were full points that night. They were great.
They beat the Wild. And the week prior to that, they beat the Jets. But since then, it's been a loss to the Jets. The Caps beat the Ducks.
Okay. The Wolf beat the Jets.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at the losses, like Wolf's just been okay. He hasn't been elite. And that's what this team is when they don't get elite goaltending. Newsflash. This is not the roster that's got them in the playoff spots. It's elite goaltending.
Did Solovyov do anything to...
I mean, Dean referenced the tough play at the end, but I think there's something to be said for a big stabilizing presence in the top 4 on the left side.
I mean, it's his first game. There's going to be nerves. You don't judge anybody on their.
I'd keep him there for a bit.
He's still young.
You don't judge. You judge everything.
No, I just because I said he made a mistake there. I mean, yeah, he made a mistake, but it's
otherwise.
No, I know, but I'm not talking about the one mistake. I'm talking about overall. What'd you think? Nothing.
Seattle was they were nothing. I don't even know how you
kind of. The problem with Solovyov is that he's not supposed to be anything.
Yeah, if you don't notice him, he's having a good game. So I'd say he did have a good game until the miscue.
Yeah, it was fine. But that's the thing. How we've talked a lot. The defense has been better than we thought, and you can't just pin it on Ball. But you lose one quality guy out of your 6 when you have 3 of them. Then it's not. You're going to miss. You're going to miss Ball when he's number 3 on that depth chart. So the defense has been not as strong. Thus, the goaltending has not been as strong. And maybe even if the defensive play was as good as it had been, maybe the goaltending play would be down anyway. The two combined, though, have really made this team kind of an easy team to play against.
Oh, yeah.
They don't score, guys.
They haven't scored 4
goals once in a game this month. Like, sorry, they still can't score.
Yeah.
They added 2 guys that can score, and they still can't score. And look, you got stuck at 2. A 3rd goal, you get a win there.
That's all I was thinking, because then I went back and just kind of watched little bits here and there. It's like you had chances to make it 3-0 or 2-0 when it was still 1-0. Then the Kadri goal, you know what I mean? You had opportunities. They weren't great A's necessarily. But Wolf makes that glove save on Kakko, late first period. Then he's got the save right off the start in the power play in the 3rd off of Tanev. He made some plays. There was was it Tolvanen who was kind of coming across to his left, and he comes across and makes that glove save. Wolf was the better of the 2 goalies on the night. Somehow.
Wolf was probably the best player. You feel for him. It's a couple poor D-zone plays.
But between knowing a break was coming and maybe it's been the schedule, they look like a team that needs, or is at least ready for some.
Hope the sunburns are okay, fellas. Hope you're doing all right down
Lots
there.
of aloe vera, Rhett.
My ties and what are you going with, Dean? What's that?
Like a pina colada?
Yeah, like where are we? Is Mexico just somewhere down?
It might be the Caribbean. They've got far enough to go to.
Yeah, long enough. It's not a tight turn. The sugary drinks just get you.
Well, Dean, your last move was just the huge thing of ice and then just vodka.
Yeah, you just keep pouring
Little bit
vodka
of-
on your ice. The ice melts. It's like a little vodka press, you know?
If you're in tequila territory too.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, tequila.
La,
Tequila
la,
soda.
la,
Tequila
la, la,
water.
la, 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 la.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.